Sometimes in life, you just need to take a different perspective on things. This is the Teton Mountains in Wyoming. And this is the Garden of the Gods in Colorado Springs, Colorado. I wonder if he knows anything. Another little mountain from the Garden of the Gods. I wonder why they call it Garden of the Gods. I think maybe they knows something that you don't. Here are other known mountain ranges. Actual, real pictures. None of these are AI. And well, again, when you take a different perspective on life, sometimes things become a bit more clear. Clear like the beautiful clear water in Iceland near Vesterhorn. This is called the Batman mountain peak, and I wonder why it's called that. It'd be Pareidolia though, right? I mean, that's not actually a mouth, and that's not actually a nose, and it's definitely not an eye and an protrusion where the brow bone would be. Nah, that's ridiculous. It's definitely just Pareidolia. Oh, and speaking of Batman, this Titan literally, I think, had a cowl over his head. You know how they love to tell us the truth in movies, right? The truth of all these come from, don't you? Well, have you ever heard of Genesis 6:4? From that crazy book that just talks about metaphorical things, like when the giants were in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God, known as angels, the fallen angels, the Elohim, came in to the daughters of men. They birthed giants. That's why they call these the Teton Mountains, because they always tell us. They always knows and tell us. I am begging you to realize is that the wool has been pulled over all of our eyes. The wool for the intent of not knowing who and where we are, and that the Bible, who speaks of giants and angels and dragons and a firmament, it's all true. And we've been led to believe that it's not. And why, you ask? Well, because if you think you're an evolved chimp spinning on a ball in endless space, it makes you pretty insignificant, and you don't realize that you are a divine spiritual being here with a purpose to help others with whatever gift you have been given from the Heavenly Father, and it makes you not realize that the only laws you need to follow are the laws of the Most High, and not the government. The government who doesn't have your best interest at heart or even anything close to it. In fact, they want you sick and poisoned and begging for their help and taking their medicine and eating their poison food and being indoctrinated from their poison education system. One eye left because I didn't want any part of brainwashing poor children. But of course, all this is for entertainment purposes. I'm sure that's not a mouth and a nose, and that's not a mouth and a nose, and that's not a mouth and a nose, and that's not a mouth and a nose. It's all just pareidolia, my friends. Entertainment only.